Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Shelby. Shelby is from Tampa in Florida, in the USA. So let's see what Shelby has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Shelby. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Can you see my camera okay?
I can, yes. Can you
Okay,
see me properly as well?
yes, I can.
Amazing.
How are you?
I'm very well. So how's your day been so far?
It's good so far. Just I'm off today, so I'm just being, lazy, doing cleaning around the house, and that's about it. How about you?
It's been cool today. This morning, I went to the gym here in London now. It's almost 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. So I've been, yes, it's been a great Sunday. I just went to the gym. I was organized some interviews today for the week and also editing some videos and some interviews as well. So I've been busy.
What's the weather like over there?
Today, actually, it's been, in the morning was sunny, but it's been on and off, like gray, sometimes cloudy. Yesterday was very sunny yesterday, but today it's been a bit, let's say it was 14 degrees. So it's been on and off, it's not like yesterday, but it's been a bit warmish, let's say.
Yeah. Well, here in Tampa, it's, in the 90s, so perfect beach weather.
So that's so you live in Tampa in Florida.
Correct.
And that's the place where you were born and raised?
No, I was born and raised in Jackson, Mississippi.
And why Florida? Why Tampa?
10 years ago when I moved here, a friend of mine that I lived with in Mississippi, he was originally from here, and he worked in pharmacy just like I did. And he said, if you want to get out of Mississippi, move back home to Tampa with me, and it will open a lot of doors for you in your career. And it has. So that's what brings me here. It's work. So.
And your family, they're all back in Mississippi, in Jackson.
I'm the only one in Florida.
How far is Florida from Mississippi? It's quite far or not?
It's about a 9-hour drive.
Oh, it's all right. It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
The only downside to that is the airport in Jackson, Mississippi is so small. It's not like Atlanta or whatever. So getting a flight into that airport is pricey and difficult a lot of times. You have to fly into a connection somewhere to be able to fly into there. So it can be challenging trying to get back home, but usually I just drive.
And how long have you been living in Tampa for?
10 years. Well, actually, it's been 11 years now. Yeah.
So you kind of got used to the place already.
Right. I have.
And do you see yourself living there for a long while?
For the moment, yes. I would like to move. I'm ready for the next thing, next chapter, I guess. Tampa has kind of, it's served its purpose.
Mm-hmm. I understand. How far is Tampa from Port Canaveral?
It's probably an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Drive.
Yeah.
I'm asking you that because 4 years ago I was working for Disney World and I was working for Disney Cruise Line and I was based in Port Canaveral.
Okay, awesome. Did you like it?
I did. It was a good experience. My goodness, it was. I'm originally from Brazil, and the place where I come from is very hot. So when I was there, I was like, "Oh my God, it feels like back in Brazil now, where I was born and raised." Yeah,
I know. The heat does get a little crazy down here, but it's worth it in the end, I guess. I don't know. I lived in Detroit for 2 years, so
it's cold there.
Yeah. A whole different. I don't even know how to drive in snow and all that. So,
Shelby, tell me, what do you do for a living?
So I'm a pharmacy technician. I've been working in pharmacy for 20 plus years now. My mom started in pharmacy, so I kind of fell in her footsteps. My plan was to go to pharmacy school and finish as a pharmacist, but life gets in the way, full-time job, and trying to go to school, especially pharmacy school, it just didn't work out. So um, I had the opportunity to work with chronic diseases and more of a specialty kind of pharmacy technician, if you'd say. And I kind of, you know, harnessed that ability to be there for those patients with chronic diseases and kind of be their advocate. So it's a love-hate relationship, this industry, but it has made me humble. I'll put it that way.
Amazing. You're saying that I have two close friends of mine back in Brazil that they are pharmacists, and I remember when I look back now, when I finished high school, before university, before like when we were ready to go to university, at least 5 or 6 people that I know that they went, they were pharmacists. So yes, it's being around. Shelby, am I saying your name right, Shelby?
That is correct, yes.
Perfect. So before we start our journey, William and the Magic Box, tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting. I played football in high school. I won a state championship my senior year.
Wow.
I also, told you I was from Jackson, Mississippi. I also grew up on a horse farm, and I showed horses as well. So I kind of miss it, but my mom's there. She still has the farm. So when I go back to visit, I can, be with the horses and live that cowboy lifestyle.
And you have siblings as well?
I do. I have one biological sibling, and then I have 8 step brothers and sisters.
Wow, big family.
Yeah, but we didn't all live under the same roof, but yes, older and younger. I'm kind of all in between, but one biological sister. Yeah.
Very good. And she's back in Mississippi.
Yes, she is.
Very good. Right, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life to share your point of view? Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here best friends full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Let's do it. Okay, Shelby, so before we start the game, for the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? Friend. First question for you is, how would you describe a perfect friendship?
Oh, a perfect friendship. This is one that all my friends would say that I could nail head on. A perfect friendship is someone that is there for you no matter what, and does not expect anything in return.
And that your best friends, they live as well in Tampa, or they are like over the other places?
Well, for the most part, most of them live here in Tampa, some in Atlanta and some in Miami, but we have a very close-knit group of probably 12 or 15 of us.
Wow.
That and our ages are varied, in aging, so we don't discriminate when it comes to that. But when you come to hang out with us, I don't know, I would not trade my friends for anything in the world.
Wow, they'll be very happy to watch the interview and to know that.
Yes.
Next question, let's do it. Next question for you, Shelby. Let's do it. If you could have been in a moment or event in history, which one that would be and why?
I've always wanted to experience what a Viking lives like. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to that, era. I think maybe I have a past life there, and I probably, relive those memories in this life. So that's what I'd probably say. I would want to. I don't know why would want to experience that, but just watching their initiative and drive, motivation, to be a civilization, it was interesting to me.
Amazing. I think all of us, when we were studying back school, when you were, going through those, what I mean, events in history, all of us had those moments. And my God, how has been, you know what I mean? How would I feel, or how the situation would be being there at the
Right.
time, isn't
Exactly.
it? Yes, I remember.
Exactly. Because they're in a whole different, world, pretty much, weather, climate, everything, environment.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, it would definitely shine some light on our generation today. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I
It
totally
would,
agree with you.
they would probably be a lot more humble.
And a lot of more answers as well that people cannot answer today.
Right.
Right
Right.
answers. Let's say right answers. Next question. Shelby, before the next question, when I was checking your profile a little bit, I saw there, let's say, statement or something that was there. I would like to read and you tell me about, okay? It says
Okay.
there, I'm an old soul, I'm a new friend, a sure smart, and the life of the party. So tell me a little bit about this statement, this phrase on your profile.
So, growing up, coming out, I always had older, pretty much daddies, I guess, that, men that were a lot older than I was. I was in my 20s and they were in their 50s. I've always been drawn to older individuals, just because I don't know, I just resonate with them a lot better. And so some of the friends we used to hang out with, they would always call me, an old soul, for hanging out with them because they were in their 50s. But if anybody could do that, they should, because you learn so many life experiences without having to experience them, by allowing a friendship with someone of that age, or just an older individual. And I'm pretty quick on the draw when it comes to my witty responses, and so I'm a true smart, and I always seem to light up the room when I'm around. So that
Wow.
that little quote was coined to me years ago.
It's so interesting saying that, Shelby, because you made me go through my memories now. And as back in Brazil, before I left Brazil, I was 19, and I remember I had my friends, like they were, at the time I was 19, they were 35, they were, 20, they were over 10 years older than
Right.
me. And it's interesting because I remember now when I look back now, it was so interesting because we learn a lot and you see a lot of things. And it was so great to be around them because it's you just learn
Right.
a lot, and
Without having to experience that
totally,
yeah, because
yeah,
they've already been there and done that. You know what I mean?
absolutely, and it's so interesting as well because when I had friends around my age as well, and I remember they were like, "Oh my God, William!" They were, even all the things. Not the same thing that they call you an old soul,
Right.
but it's sometimes talking to you, you talk about different things or you approach the different way, and it's so true because you got used to to the older friends,
Right.
and you just learn a lot. It's always a plus. I think it's always a plus, and
I
I
think.
learned. Yes.
Oh, go
Sorry.
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that it's. I read somewhere a few years ago saying if you wanna, improve yourself, be a better person, spiritual, and so on, hang out with people that are not from your nationality, hang out with older people, different age as you are, different backgrounds, different, economical status or
Right.
anything. You
Right.
learn a lot, and it's so true because you teach as well, but at the same time you learn as well.
Mm-hmm.
So so it resonates to me when I read that, because it's so true. I love to be around people that doesn't speak the same language as I speak, my
Right.
first language. You know, different culture, different point of views, different way of approaching life. That's the way
Yeah.
you learn. That's the way you feel. You learn how to be approachable and be more understanding as well.
When I was 18 years old, graduated high school, was going into college, I moved out of my mom's house in Jackson, Mississippi. And at the time, I was working for a Mexican restaurant, actually. And I ended up moving in with the Mexicans and going to college and living there with them. And I would not trade that experience for anything, because it allowed me to learn a culture that I could not pick up and pay to go live, experience.
Mhm.
Um, and I could actually, do it locally at home. And still to this day, I have, friends. When Latinos like you and you get, a part of their family, they will fight for you.
I'm Latino. I know what you mean. Exactly. We have this approach of where can you sleep one, can you sleep three, where can
Right.
eat two people, can eat five at the same time. So we have this way of approaching people, or make them feel that they are safe or they are welcome. You know what I mean? Welcoming.
Exactly.
Things. Good one. Okay, next question for you is, if you could meet yourself when you were 15 years old again, which advice would you give to yourself?
That's a good question. That do not take this one life so serious, because you have lived many, many in past lives.
Good one. Good one. I love that. Wow, amazing. Imagine if all of us had this opportunity to talk to ourselves at the time.
Exactly.
Good one. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Shelby from Tampa in Florida. Next question is, what is a significant event that has changed you?
So when I moved here from Jackson, Mississippi, I was, working at a small and independent pharmacy in Jackson, Mississippi. And this pharmacy, anybody that was somebody in Jackson, old money, the people who built Jackson, Mississippi, were a part of this pharmacy. And so growing up in Mississippi, it's very closed-minded there, and it's hard to, learn things from people that haven't been taught those things in the first place. You know what I mean? So me taking the leap of faith and getting out of Jackson, Mississippi, coming to Tampa, Florida, to embrace myself in a culture that is frowned upon in my home, in my state, embracing that head on and advocating for these patients who have HIV, and a lot of them don't even have, a college education or a high school diploma. I went to bat for them as if I was living their life with them. And so that is probably one of the most humbling experiences I have ever had.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing that you realize that, Shelby. And saying that, when you think about your hometown, about Jackson, what's the best memory that comes to your mind, genuinely?
The food. The food is really good in Mississippi. And the the open air and no noise or traffic, or what I mean, you can just be at one with yourself, in the middle of an open field, with no noise or distractions around us. You can really understand yourself.
Do you go there very often?
Not as much recently as I have in the past, but I'm having to get back to that state because, you know, our parents aren't getting any younger, you know what I mean? And so I have to care for them and um yeah, so it's
And
long
recharge
overdue. I'm ready for a trip back home.
and recharge the batteries as well. I think back home is the only
Right,
place where you can recharge your batteries. You know what I mean?
right. Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Ready for another question?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me what do you like the most about your job? What's the most interesting thing about your job? And of course, there's always a challenging part. What that would be?
Um, my job now, I work for a health insurance company and I do prior authorizations. I work from home now, not so much in the clinical setting or in the pharmacy, you know, um, but I don't know. This is a different aspect of pharmacy that I'm working in. I've always worked, you know, patient to patient in a pharmacy setting. This
I
is
see.
more on the insurance side that I'm doing now. Pretty much, um, you know, attached to a computer all day, looking at you know, cases to review. Um, I like it, but I like to interact with people, you know what I mean, and I like to be their best cheerleader, and I can't do that in this position. I'm not saying that you know, I am unhappy. I just miss, you know, having that one-on-one people
Okay.
interaction, you know.
Absolutely. As I can see, you are a people's person. For sure, you miss a lot because you always speak. You know what I mean? You miss in that format of people.
Yes, yes. My patients love me. They would call me for everything. So, and that in itself is very humbling because, you know, I don't have a PharmD behind my name. You know, I learned my uh, skill from trade. You know, from clocking so many hours under a pharmacist. It's changed now, but to have someone, you know, show you just as much respect as a pharmacist, and actually allow you to pretty much hold their life in your hands is very you know, I don't know, it's very it's an honor to be able to, you know, have someone to trust you in that process, you know, while there's still even the biggest stigma around HIV, you know what I mean? Which there's a fix for that, and that's education, but you know, we still seem to not get to that, you know,
I, th-
eh,
I think
socially.
Yeah, I think nowadays is more. I think with the technology and the information, people they are more educated about it.
Right,
They're more with the prep, with the you know. There are so many things right nowadays that people they see HIV in a different approach. You
right,
know, in the 80s was a life death you know what I mean? So
right.
nowadays I think it's more kind of the information out there. People are more educated, I believe. But even though there's still, you know, there's still some stigma. People that they have the thing in their minds. But I think nowadays is more kind. People are more understanding and they're more educated about it.
Right.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I hope.
Yes, I think there's a lot of more to do or to go, but I think we are in the right path. Genuinely feel that there's so many information out there. You know, the gay scene as well. I think there's so many
Right.
information, and I think that we are going to the right direction. Let's put it this
But
way.
I mean, not so much, you know, I worked with all chronic diseases, not only HIV. You
Yeah,
know, I think other chronic diseases get overlooked compared to, you know, HIV, breast cancer, you know, some of those other autoimmune disorders uh, that are chronic and debilitating for patients are do not get the light that, you know, the other ones do. And so I think that we should probably, you know, advocate for those people, even though they're a smaller community,
Yeah,
they deserve that as well, you know?
absolutely. Good one. Next question for you is, what is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
Well, there was a show, I don't know if you've seen it, it's called Fringe Science.
No, I'm
um,
not. Yeah.
and it talks about, you know, um, a different kind of science than what we're used to, more from a metaphysical standpoint, you know,
Wow.
and
Mhm.
um, you know, from a quantum standpoint, I guess, is what it looks at. And so they, I don't know, that show was very interesting because all the stuff, I mean, it's been years ago since it's aired, but all the stuff that they were talking about has come to fruition as far as, you know, the technology and stuff that we have now. So I don't know, that interests me a lot.
And
Uh,
it's something new, or it's been for a while on TV? On
um, no, it's been a while. It's been, I want to say like, um, at least at least 10, 15 years. Yeah.
okay, it's been on for a while.
Do you remember the X-Files? Agent Scully, I think she plays in it, I believe,
Uh,
if I'm not
I,
mistaken.
the
Yeah.
X-Files, I remember this year. I never watched it, but I know which they're advertising
It was
about.
around that time actually that that show came out, not too long after that. So that can set the time frame for you.
Very good. Next question, Shelby. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is the biggest difference between you and your best friend?
Me and my best friend, the biggest difference. Um well, I guess I would say that I'm pretty nobody has to question how I feel because I'm gonna express it. Because you should never feel sorry. You should never apologize for the way you feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what where we differ is because if if they want something to be known, they'll come and talk to me about it. And you know, as far as they know, I won't be, you know, I'll be upfront and honest and very blunt about it. I don't know. I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve like some people. So some people don't know how to accept that, but
And what's the biggest similarity between both of you?
the biggest similarity, I guess when we're together, we really actually harness each other's energy and and it makes it a very fun kind of experience.
Very good. And your best friend lives in Tampa as well?
Yeah.
Very good. Next one. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me two questions in one. I've never been Tampa before. If I would come Tampa for the very first time, what should I see, or what should I go to visit or to see about the city? And also, as I can see how much you enjoy living there, but there's always a challenging part, what that would be.
Okay. So if you were coming to town, I would probably tell you to come and experience Gasparilla, which is kind of like the Mardi Gras, if you will, of Tampa.
Mhm.
And these crews, yeah, they have all these different crews that have these different pirate ships that they or floats that they, you know, make look like a pirate ship because during that time the pirates came and invaded the city and took you know, the keys from the mayor and all. They do the whole rendition of that happening, and there's a big parade, and I want to say that there's over 100,000 people that come here to experience that every year. um, and the downside to Tampa is we have grown exponentially in the last 10 years, and the traffic here is horrible.
How far are you from the beach?
Well, it depends on which beach we're talking about. Are we talking about the 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 nice beach or just the kind of ghetto beach?
The closest one. Which
The
one? You
closest one, probably a good 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay,
Right.
not far. Next question for you is: what is the scary thing that happened to you?
Probably being diagnosed as a narcoleptic.
Tell me a little bit about it.
So narcolepsy is when someone that, like for instance, you and I are here talking. um, if I were not controlled on my medication that I take every night before I go to bed, it would not provide me the wakefulness I need for the next day. So without that medication, you and I can be talking here, and I would fall. I would have a sleep attack and kind of I don't know, disconnect in a way from you. And what it is I kind of fall asleep for a short, brief time. But when I wake up, I usually answer whatever question you've asked. It's just a delayed response, or um, for example, I have cataplexy along with narcolepsy, which is when my emotions are heightened, I have involuntary muscle loss. So if I laugh hysterically about something, sometimes my knees can buckle and I can, fall flat on my face.
Wow.
So that is that, and then the vivid dreams that you have, the psychosis, where your eyes seem paralyzed and you're in such a vivid dream, like the taste, smell, sense, everything is so heightened, it seems like reality.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I actually early on before I was fully diagnosed, I had a dream. I woke up in the middle of the night, like I would wake up at midnight thinking I was late for work and like run out of the house and it'd be dark outside. I had a dream one time that a friend of mine, I was watching the news and he was on the news because he was, a gay friend, and he went and had a trick with this guy, and the guy ended up murdering him. And I was watching this on the news. And so coming
Oh,
out of that, calling that person on the phone at 1 a.m. and saying, I just had to make sure you're okay because, sometimes you don't know what's reality and what's not.
I see. Oh, wow. And how old are you when you will find out all of that? So you're.
Um, so I was in my 20s, early 20s.
Mhm. I see.
Yeah.
And nowadays you did the medication every single day to.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm medicated with meds that help. Um, I take them at night uh, to promote wakefulness the next day. I know it kind of sounds kind of weird, but it works with the GABA receptors in your brain to promote wakefulness and not, be sleepy. But yeah,
Thanks.
it's very challenging. I would not wish uh, this condition to my worst enemy.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Shelby. Thank you. It's
Of
very
course.
personal. Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe people watching the interview and they might, also have the same. And I'm sure they would appreciate you sharing that. I think it's nice to hear people sharing their challenges, or also their most beautiful moments, because people connected, and it's a
Right.
comforting place to be when you hear people talking about that. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Next question. Let's do it. Before the next one, I believe you are gay, yes?
Yes.
Are you okay to talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Being a gay boy, did you always have the support of your family? And also, how is being gay in Tampa?
Um, Growing up, yes, I had the support of my family, not initially, but
Mhm.
eventually they came to terms with it. Um, I, growing up in Mississippi, it was not, I could not live like I live here. You know what I mean? It's very kind of hush, not hush hush, but, you know, there's like one gay bar in Jackson, Mississippi, and it's not even a club or anything. It's just a little hole in the wall place. But
Mhm.
it was a place to go and be with people that, share your same lifestyle. So um, I I like Tampa because, it has shown me that I don't have to be closed-minded like those people, and that uh, everybody's unique in their own way. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So, but if people from Mississippi could get out of that little box that they live in, and allow their minds to open up to not necessarily agree with it, but learn something from it. You know what I mean? I think that's the key is education.
Absolutely. I totally believe that sometimes, even if you don't understand, if it's not part of your daily, life, something that you've never seen before, but if you respect, at least, I think
Right.
it's already a plus, you know what I mean? If you just respect, even if you don't understand, it's fine. If you don't, let people be themselves. And I think it's if people would think this way, would be a big change, I think. You know what I mean? Just respect, even if you don't understand. I totally
Right.
agree with that. Next question, let's do it. When was the last time that you laughed so hard that made you cry, or that you couldn't stop laughing?
Huh. Well, that happens a lot. So, um, every time my friends and I get together, it is the show. Let me tell you, it's in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're not laughing, you're not living, right?
Yes. Totally agree. Totally.
So I couldn't tell you one particular instance because every time we hang out, it's like that. So you know, all of the little things that make us laugh the most or the hardest, all that they all the moments I share with them are exactly the way you're describing. So
Yeah, being close to best friends, it's impossible not to laugh.
I know.
There's always something. It comes up. Right, Shelby, I have 3 questions left for you, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, Shelby from Tampa. Next question is, what's something you wish you could do every single day?
I wish I didn't have to work as much and I could take that time to meditate more.
Nice one. How often do you meditate?
I try to do it, daily, but it always does not, happen that way. But if I could at least do it once or twice a week, that really helps a lot.
For sure. Are you more of a day person, night person?
I'm more of a night person. I'm not an early morning person. Let's put it that way. Especially, I'm, there's nothing worse than having narcolepsy and trying to come out of that REM sleep. Because narcoleptics do not get the REM sleep like they're supposed to. So, sleep is very important to me. But yes, I do like to, stay up odd hours of the night as well. It's kind of depends. It just depends on how much REM sleep I've gotten previously. So
I see. Very good. 2 questions left. Let's do it. But before the next question, as you're saying about how much you appreciate your job, like being in touch with people, people coming to you and trusting about, about the job you do. If you can share like a moment or story that happened to you with your, one of your patients or clients that they came to you, something that you can share that stuck to your head?
This story actually proved me being humble in this position. So I had a new patient that came into the pharmacy. She was a a single mother of like two or three kids. I can't remember how many, but she had just moved to the area. She was seeing a doctor that was treating her with a regimen that was causing something called hyperbilirubin in the blood, and it looks like, there's like red blood splotches all over her arms, face, everything. So that when you have hyperbilirubin elevated, it it there is a drug interaction that she's allergic to or something, going on. And the doctor, I called the doctor and said, can we change her meds or whatever? And he was not having it. So she came to me and she said, can you please refer me to a doctor that, I can feel safe, and, because she was almost, it was getting pretty bad because she had other issues that were being affected as well. So I sent her to a doctor that was this was in St. Pete. The doctor was in Tampa, and I said, look, I'm sorry that you're going to have to drive across the bridge to go see this doctor, but trust me, it's worth the drive, So she went to see that doctor, got regimen changed. The hyperbilirubin went away. She was almost on her deathbed, and her kids brought me a card. They signed it and said, thank you for saving their mom, because they wouldn't know what to do without her. I mean, that really like touched me. So
Wow.
you never know what an impact you make on people's life.
For sure. Oh my God, Shelby, that's a beautiful story. My goodness. Oh my God. Imagine people, when they do that, they mean it, and we can feel. But when children do it, it's
right.
Like, I've got goosebumps now. It's something powerful. It's like, oh my God, it's more than you can imagine how powerful it can be. Wow. Wow. Beautiful story. Thanks for sharing. Beautiful.
Of course.
Wow. Beautiful. Next question for you is, what is one movie you could watch over and over again?
There was a movie with, I believe Robin Williams was in it. It's called What Dreams May Come. And it talks about the afterlife and how, you don't really die when you die, because energy is can't be created or destroyed, so it has to live on, and you just live it in a different dimension or time space, I guess, or as a spirit. So in the movie, it showed you how to create your own reality, create your own whatever, wherever you are in this, on this earth plane or in a different dimension. It's pretty much, you are Christ consciousness, you know what I mean? You are creator gods within yourself. So, people get upset about death and they don't know how to handle it because they don't understand it. So, it's hard for people to let go, maybe, and that's understandable, but we're not letting go forever, because a lifetime here is like a second over there, so
I like that. Amazing. Before a life here, no,
a lifetime here on earth is like a second in the spiritual realm.
I love it.
Because they don't have any. We are the only planet, or we have made up this thing called time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we focus so much on time when it doesn't really matter, because time doesn't really exist. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, amazing. I love that. I love those topics. I love those topics. I love it. It's just, I could go on and on like for hours about it, because I found very interesting. You know what I mean? And yeah, death is of course, as you said, no one is prepared, no one
Right.
knows how to deal with it. But in the end of the day, it's just it's just like a how can I say that? It's just you're going through to another, it carries on. It doesn't finish, just carries on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Good one. I could be with you another hour just talking about this topic.
That's awesome, because I feel like a lot of people do not talk about it because they do not understand it or do not know the right questions to ask to try to understand. And I'm not saying that I have all the answers at all, but I'm just saying, when you open dialogue for conversation, especially around topics you don't know, you learn from each other. And that is the most important thing,
Absolutely. I'm gonna share something personal with, as you touched topic. I'm gonna share something with you. When I was a teenager, I think I was 18, 19 years old. I've got some friends, and we were talking about spiritualism, and had those moments. And he told me that one of my past lives, I was a priest.
Wow.
Past life, yeah. And it makes so sense, because nowadays, when I walk through anywhere where I go, when I see like a church or a cathedral, always get my attention, and I always feel some connection somehow, and I always feel very connected.
You know why? Because that past life that you're experiencing, you are living it all at the same time. We view time as linear, but you're actually living all your past lives and this life at one together.
Oh my God.
So you jump timelines, when you have that oneness with a church or whatever, you're actually being expressed in that timeline when you were a priest or while you were a priest. So it's fascinating information. It's hard to wrap your head around it, but once you do, that's why we need to get rid of time here as we view it, because it's a man-made thing. You know what I mean? It's a man-made concept of belief, and once we let go of our ego and let go of the time, it will all come.
Shelby, I'll tell you something. I love camping, and I think if I would go camp, you would be the right person to come with me. I will be talking to you through the whole weekend about this topic.
Yes.
Amazing. I love it. Ready for the last one?
I am.
Let's do it. Last question. Okay, Shelby, before the last question, people watching the interview, would you like to start a career as a pharmacy technician? What would be your best piece of advice?
My best piece of advice for a pharmacy technician. This one I struggle with because after 20 plus years in this industry, I think I'm ready for something new. But I would not discourage people from going into this field, because you can learn a lot. Although it is a technical job, and it, the demand or the expectation is very high, and sometimes the reward is not. So if you want to go into a pharmacy technician role, you need to do it because you want to help people, not because you want to make money.
Point. Last question. Let's do it. As a child, did you have imaginary friends, and what was their name?
No, well, not that I can remember. I wish I could remember more of my childhood, but I don't, for whatever reason. But I think that our view on imaginary friends as society or whatever is very skewed, because I feel like as a child, we are given psychic abilities, and then we end up growing out of them. And so um, I think that those abilities are still there within each and every one of us. We just need to know how to tap into it. And it's not so much an imaginary friend, it's actually maybe your spirit guide or your higher self coming through to guide you.
Absolutely, totally I agree. And also, children, I think they are so sensitive, and people, I think parents, they should always believe what they say, not think that they are dreaming or they are just
Right.
making up, or they're just making, some imagination or anything. Because as a child, my God, I could tell you so many stories that I went through. But also, I remember my mom, she was quite supportive. She was like, okay, just, try to sleep or pray, or because for me, I could understand what was happening. But I think some parents, they should always, it could be the anything that could be even for maybe for the parents could be something unreal, but trust them. You know what I mean? Why
Right,
they are
exactly.
what they're saying. Don't just ignore or just think they are dreaming or making up. Just
Right.
try to support them, because it's real. It's real what they see and what they feel or what they sharing,
Right.
because for them they don't understand. They don't understand, so they just want some comfort, and I think they
And
should
it's
support.
easy for them to pick up on that because they do not have everyday life and the heaviness of this
Yeah,
energy here on in third dimension. So um, also I think the way that we as society view or treat our mental health patients, our whole mental health um, industry needs a whole ditch it and start over, because you know people that do have 12 different personalities, in my opinion. I told you about you having living that past life when you become close to a church or whatever. This is just them living their past lives, but people not accepting or trying to educate them, or you know opening them up to a spiritual kind of way of life, or to cope with these past traumas. Instead, we feed them with medication and uh, keep them doped up so they can't experience anything.
absolutely, absolutely. Those events are real, and people should always look into it, and being approachable and understanding as well. Not just to shut the door because you are scared or because you're afraid or because you don't understand. Just take it, try to learn, try to see what's happening, or even if you don't believe, but try to understand or or comfort the person or the child,
Right,
or
right,
what he's sharing at the situation with you. That's it's already a help, a big help if you do
right.
that. For sure, for sure.
Correct.
Okay, Shelby, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Family.
My mother.
Money.
A nice career.
Love.
Love, I think about green, the
Okay.
color green. Yeah, because the green is the heart chakra, and it's the unconditional love is the meaning behind the heart chakra, and it holds a color of green.
Amazing. Life.
Life. We chose this life. We chose to come here and live these experiences. So um, it's an experience.
Amazing. And a very beautiful, interesting experience for sure.
Yes.
One word for sex.
I like it a lot.
Welcome to the club.
Right.
Politics.
I'm disappointed.
Okay. Religion.
I believe in God, but I think that we should view religion from a lens higher than God, and then it would be a little more understandable. Um, I think that, you know, we've been withheld from a lot of different things in our history, and had we known those growing up, the outcome would have been different. You know what I mean?
Amazing. One word for fear.
Letting go of your ego.
Friendship.
Lifetime comes to mind, because if you're a friend of mine, you're going to be a friend for a lifetime.
Wow. Desire.
Only the necessity.
Regrets.
You should never have any, because it wouldn't allow you a chance to learn.
True. Success.
I don't know. My view of success is changing. Okay. Because you can be successful in a job or career or whatever, but you can be unsuccessful in life experiences, you know?
Success is very personal, I believe. It's very personal. Yeah.
I think it would depend on the individual's interpretation.
Yeah, I agree. Wish.
I wish that humanity will come together as one soon.
Amazing. One word for happiness.
Try to live it every day. I know this is more than one word, but
it's okay.
I guess daily, you know, I want to be happy every day. So
one word for Jackson in Mississippi.
History.
One word for Tampa.
Congested. Very congested.
One word for USA.
Proud.
And the last one now, pharmacy technician. One word.
A grunt. Pretty much a let me see how to put it. A pharmacy technician is a lot of responsibility. Let's put it that way.
Good. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Shelby, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend would say?
They would say that I am a breath of fresh air, and I bring a light to, or bring an energy that is very powerful. Like when they confide in me, they know that my reaction is going to be very impactful. So I guess I hold a lot of clout when it comes to, you know, people coming to me for advice. But yes, that's what they would say. But the things that I would need to work on would be probably sometimes I get caught up in my own mind, and I'm kind of self-conscious about a lot of stuff. And that would be one thing that I would need to work on.
I see. Let's play now Shelby and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Shelby, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. So as I said before, I want to pursue a career change after 20 years in the pharmacy industry as a technician. What advice do you have for someone like me making a career change this kind of late um, I guess what I'm looking for is something that maybe other people have experienced too. You know what I mean? Have you had a career change?
Interesting your point, Shelby. I strongly believe that people, they should always, when they feel that's the time, when they feel like, okay, I'm ready for a career change, why not? I think there's never too late. There's say about too late, late for that. I don't think it's never late. I never changed a career. I mean, I've been working hospitality for so many years, in the hospitality world, as I was saying about Disney. So I've always been working in this fields, and also, but saying that, it's very interesting point, because I always knew in the back of my mind that that was my path. I always been grateful for every job I've done in my life, and I totally believe that everything counts and everything builds the person you are. And I think everything you do, it's always, I strongly believe as well, all of us, we have the ability to do different things and also still be happy. Still
Right.
do, you know what I mean? Still be happy and still following a path. I strongly believe it. We are able to do different careers and still be happy, still live a life happy. I My advice, or my opinion on that is, it's never too late. And saying that, for example, this magic box I'm doing now, right now, it's something that through my life I was always asking myself, my God, what you came to this world for? What is your path? And I always admire people saying, my goodness, I love my job, I love what I do, I came to this world for this, that's what I meant to do it. And I was asking myself this question. I was like, my God, how is the feeling of living a life doing what you love, what you do? And I never had the answer. I mean, I knew it was somewhere. And I remember a few years ago talking to a friend of mine. I was like, oh my God, I haven't found my path, like the one that I came to this world for, but it will come one day. I remember that conversation like very vivid, because it was so interesting. And I said, one day will come. And here I am, like 1 year and a half now, I'm doing the magic box, and something that's it's something that feeds my soul, my day, my life, my everything. So I strongly believe, Shelby, it's never too late. It's always, but when you feel as you are feeling, okay, I would like to change, that's the moment when you should or can, organize yourself and see what you like to do, or because the older we get, the wiser we get as well.
Right.
Where we know what we enjoy the most, you know what I mean? So my point of view on that is, ask yourself. I think it's the best. Ask yourself, because the answer is in yourself. The answer is not out there. The answer is in ourselves. Ask yourself, and even if you don't have the answer, but just because the fact that you are asking yourself, you are challenging yourself, it's already an opening door, because the door starts open, because that's when, but because you're already feeling like that, it's already answered. The answer is coming because you're already feeling it, isn't it? So I think that's my point of view on that.
Yes, and our words are manifestations, right?
Yes, totally
So,
agree.
so what in full circle, when we come back and revisit, have another visit, maybe I'll have a more sound, what path. But I'll tell you what helped me a lot is learning. Have you heard about life path numbers?
Nope.
Numerology.
Oh, yeah.
Numerology and your life path number. I would suggest that you look into that numerology and life path number, see what number you are, and it kind of tells you your purpose in life. For example, mine's a master number because it's a 33. So yeah, it's helping humanity is my purpose in life, and so it's hard. I'm helping a lot of people now, or have, up until this point with this career. So I feel like um, I have done the deed for this job, and I need to move on and do something else different in the same aspect, but maybe a different, kind of area.
After you said that, I have two things I'd like to share with you.
Okay.
Just bear a minute. Let me show you something.
Okay.
I have something to show you. You said about numerology. I need to show you something. First of all, let me just see. Okay, it's here. First of all, you say about 33. My lucky number is being 3 always. I remember I went to astrology like when I was a teenager, and this person told me, William, your lucky number is 3. Everything connected with 3, like 33, 13, everything. And I knew it somehow. I said, oh my God, it's so interesting because somehow I knew it already about the number 3. And when I look back in my life, always I have so many moments like life-changing that it was 13, the 3rd, or everything connected with 3. I came to Europe on the 13th of March. I was living in Portugal. When I moved to London, was again 13 years. It was always coincidence, always 13. I can't follow me. But saying that, I went 2 weeks ago. I went for a brunch with a friend of mine, and the bill came, and when I looked at the bill, you cannot see properly now, but it was 33, exactly 33. And I said to the waiter, can I just keep this bill, please? And she was like, what you can? I said, my God, I never went to a place where I was paying the bill and it was 33. And I told her that my lucky number is 3. And when I saw 33, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna keep this bill. And I have my wallet this bill now for the last 2 weeks because it was 33. And I put it in my wallet because it was like insane. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
I know. Geometry and the way that math works in our universe is very interesting and kind of mind-blowing. 369 is, the Nikola Tesla pretty much coined that 369, and he says if you manifest, I'm seeing things that if you manifest 3 things in the morning, 6 things at lunch, 9 things at night, they will come to fruition. So I'm gonna try some of that, written manifestation. But yeah, you should check out your life path number. There's a little like equation you have to do with your birthday to kind of break it down, to see actually what your life path number is. I'd be interested to know if it's a 3.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to do that. Actually, it's interesting. I love it.
Yeah. So you can just do a Google search for life path calculator.
Okay.
And then you just put your birthday in there, and it'll calculate it for you. So pretty much you just reduce the numbers down, like you add them together, the month, the day, you just reduce them down to a single digit. But yes.
Amazing. So interesting. Oh my God, Shelby, amazing talking about this number. Shelby, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
Yes, I did.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being sweet and kind and to accept my invitation. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
And before you go, if you can share a positive quote or a positive message, something that you live by.
Of course. So I don't know who wrote this. It came across my Instagram. The quote says, be somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody.
Wow. Amazing. I love that. Shelby, thank you so much for being so open and talk about a lot of things that, it's so amazing to see someone talking about some topics that maybe some people, wouldn't be able to talk or afraid, right, or thing. And, it's lovely to see someone just open and talking about your personal experience and let people connect with you as well, and let them be themselves and see that they're not alone out there. There are so many people, right, that they're living the same life experience as we are, and it warms our hearts knowing that there's somebody in another part of the world living the same way as well. Thanks so much, Shelby. It was a pleasure, And
Likewise.
keep in touch, okay? It was a
Yes,
pleasure.
I will. All right. Have a
Take
good
care.
weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.